The top story is the main event. Rhea Ripley knocks off Nia Jax in what I have to say is a pretty good match from my perspective. Crowd was really hot for Rhea Ripley. We saw some real wrestling, which I didn't see a lot of tonight because of all of the stipulation matches with the Elimination Chamber. And I thought this was a really good main event. Dom, what you think about Rhea Ripley's big win in Australia?
Rhea Ripley gets the win in about 14 and a half minutes. And like you said, it was the last match we thought it would be. Because, this is Perth, this is Western Australia, her hometown, her home region. And WWE had a lot of massaging of characters to do here. Because this is Rhea Ripley's show. She's going to be a babyface. The problem is she's a heel.
Right.
So they need to turn her babyface for one show. That's it. Just one show. Just one. Only do one show. So they got to turn her babyface for one show. They can't do that unless they have someone who's a monster heel.
Yeah.
And I know Nia Jax has gotten a lot of slack over the years for being a little too rough with the other wrestlers because she is just so much bigger than them. And maybe working a little too stiff with them. Botches, quote unquote, happening. But Nia Jax, what a job she did leading up to this and then in this match of being the monster heel that allowed the Rhea Ripley babyface turn to work and be believable and really seamless, even if it's only going to last one premium live event. So cheers to Nia Jax for what she was able to do here. It seemed very organic that Rhea Ripley was the babyface in this match and went over. It was a feel-good moment. And yet, Nia looked at any point during the match like she could win. This was, Rhea's got to win, right? But as you're watching the match, you're seeing Nia perform maybe as well as she's performed in years.
Oh, yeah. This is probably Nia Jax's best match I've ever seen her in. She's had a lot of clunkers, but she really delivered here. Right in the beginning, there was a Hurricane Rana attempt by Rhea Ripley, and Nia took it all weird, and I was like, uh-oh. I just thought, this isn't a good start. But
they were too close to the rope, weren't they?
Yeah.
It almost looked like Rhea was trying to set her up for a 619 since everybody in the Judgment Day has to do that.
Yeah, it was something like a 619 attempt. But she gets the Hurricane Rana, she kind of gets her over. But once they settle in and they start, I'd say, doing real wrestling moves, there was a bunch of different holds that Nia Jax did. She did kind of like the surfboard stretch, which I love.
Okay.
She did the half Boston Crab, and that got way over with the crowd. Her just kind of slowing things down and being a traditional heel, which is to do holds and boring stuff like that.
She did more than one kind of leg hold, didn't she? What was the one where she had Rhea's lower leg across her back, almost like she was getting Rhea's leg in a backbreaker?
Yeah.
That was quite a stretch too, because it also almost picked Rhea up off the mat. So, have you seen Nia Jax do anything like that? I know very little about Nia Jax outside of Royal Rumble, where she sets records because she throws out more other opponents than anybody else, and then she's been in a few squashes.
Yeah, she's more like the squash match king.
Okay.
And I've never really seen her do the longer matches. There's always just a lot of botches with her, but I think she really delivered, and she was way over, and as was Rhea. I mean, she just really had to steer the ship, if you will, right? Rhea Ripley's the star. She was the most over of anyone that night. The crowd wasn't too tired for the main event, but Nia Jax, for sure, thumbs up. Great performance by her.
Also, something we didn't get in this match was, everybody kicking out of everybody's finishes.
Right.
We didn't get that. We got Nia teasing, hitting Annihilator, which is her just sit down squash off the second turnbuckle onto her opponent.
Right.
Teasing that whole match, never quite hitting it until very late in the match. They were wrestling outside, Rhea went for a power bomb on the announce table after clearing it off. Because, when you're the main event, you can do that. At this point, they really don't need the announce table anymore. You might as well break the furniture. It's one less thing to have to ship all the way back from Australia to the U.S. They'll thank you for it. Just trash it. Rhea goes for a powerbomb, but of course can't get Nia up. Nia instead picks her up, gets her in a Samoan drop, which she had done a few times in the ring, but now a Samoan drop onto the announce table, and then just splashes her to make the announce table break. And that's really the best shot that Nia had to finish her off, because back in the ring, she finally hits that Annihilator squash. But Rhea Ripley squirms out in two. I mean, it wasn't a kick out, and it wasn't a roll of the shoulder. It was that Rhea kind of, squirmed out from underneath Nia to get out of the pinning predicament. It was something I haven't seen before, but how often do you see somebody get out of an Annihilator squash from a much bigger wrestler? So I'll take it. So that's Rhea getting out of Nia's big finisher move, the move that everybody wanted to see from Nia. And then Nia tries to climb to the top turnbuckle, but Rhea meets her there. And on the second turnbuckle, Rhea hits a superplex. And really, this was the only way they were going to do it, right?
Right.
Because getting Nia Jax over may have been too much even for Rhea. So using the ropes to their advantage, there's Nia trying to climb up the ropes like she's going to jump off the top turnbuckles or something.
Yeah.
Not going to happen. So now Rhea has the advantage of being on the second turnbuckle, while Nia is one foot on the top turnbuckle. And that's like Nia putting herself over into the move. Big, beautiful looking superplex there. And then that's what allows Rhea Ripley to finally hit her riptide, that pump handle slam. Nia goes up for, it's like nobody slams Andre the Giant unless Andre wants them to, because Andre has to go up for them. He has to jump into the move. Nia had to spring herself up into this move for it to look like anything, and Nia did it. So after 14 minutes of wrestling, in the outdoor summertime in Perth, Australia, where we saw wrestlers sweating buckets all day, Nia still had the wherewithal and the timing to, do the work of getting herself up into Rhea's finisher. I mean, obviously Rhea is doing some of it; she's turning and everything, but Rhea's not going to pick her up.
Right.
Using that pump handle method. So,
right.
Good finish. I liked it. Anything seem out of place to you in this match, or did it kind of fit?
Yeah, from my perspective, this was a really, really good main event. Even the finish, I was almost like, we're getting a little long. I hope they go home. And then they did. It was just before it happened when they did the superplex. And I was like, okay, this is it, right? And it was it, the superplex, the pump handle slam. Rhea did a great job building it up in the beginning to let you know she was going for the pump handle slam, and that's going to be the finish. And a lot of the submission maneuvers by Nia were really cool and good, proper, old school heel stuff. Again, can't say enough about Nia Jax. I was a little, cautious going into this main event, saying, "Oh wow, this is her opportunity." She just got fired, she just was unemployed. Now she's getting in the main event. So I know she gets bashed a lot online, but you got to give her her flowers today. She was really good.
One last thing, I just did a scroll up. This is the shortest match of the night other than the pre-show. In fact, the Grayson Waller effect may have gone longer than this. This was 14 and a half minutes. Did it seem short to you, or did it seem like they told enough of the story in the ring where this was a right length of a match, and it seemed and felt like a main event?
Timing was perfect.
Okay.
I really liked the timing. I think 14 minutes was the perfect number. It's not too long. They just had 2 elimination chambers. It's summertime. It's hot there. Let's go. Give the crowd what they want. Give them a 15-minute match. And it was very entertaining throughout. So that's the lead.
There we go.